Hi everybody, I'm Bill Russell. I'm the Associate Dean International in the School of Business here at the University of Dundee. Today I'm just going to talk very briefly about the MSc Management Program and its pathways, which is what you've applied for. Let me start by just sharing a few slides with you. Hopefully this will work properly for us. And there we are. So this program is has a program director called Edda Ulrus, and she is an experienced program director and will look after all students when they arrive at on the program. So let me just tell you a little bit about the program itself. The purpose of the program is that it's one of our conversion degrees. Now, when we refer to a conversion degree, all it means is that you can come from any background. So about 40% of the students will be from a business background, about 40% are from a non-business technical background, which means something like engineering, physics, chemistry, maths, science, something like that. And about 20% of the students will come from a non-business, non-technical background. And so they will come maybe with, some in the past have come with music or English literature, history, maybe psychology. Psychology is just bordering on being a technical subject as well. So the background of the students is enormously diverse as you come onto these programs. The business students are ones which have got normally have a general business background, maybe business administration, and they've decided that they want to change the direction slightly and focus more on some sub-discipline within a business like management or marketing or something like that. So these are very successful degrees, these conversion degrees. What we find is that we have these people arrive who have got very large brains. They've got a very wide background in knowledge, but what they want to signal to their employer or prospective employer is that they also have business skills as they go along. We'll talk a little bit more about employability as we go along. You've already applied, and so you will understand that the entry requirement onto the program is the equivalent of what we call a 2-2 class degree here in the UK. There's multiple pathways and specialisms, so the pathways are being carefully designed so as to signal to your employer not only your skill set, but also your interest in a particular area of, in this case, management. And we'll show you the programs just shortly. The programs have an enormous amount of flexibility. So when you arrive, you are on a foundation program. So in September, it's only going to be 1 week long because we've moved the start date back a little bit. But normally it's 2 weeks. And in that foundation program, what you're doing is finding out about the program itself, what all the options are. You get to have a lecture from me on how to choose your pathway and program. You get an opportunity to talk to the program leaders. You get an opportunity to talk to the past students who are still here. They've come from the earlier intake. And you get to find out about all of the modules and talk to the module leaders if you want to do that. And then towards the end of the foundation program, in this case, it will be in the first week, as I say, in September, you register for your modules, your pathway, and your program. Now, around about 25% of students who come expecting to do a particular pathway will change their pathway in that first week. So they might think they're coming to do MSc Management and Marketing, and they will choose to do MSc Management and Finance or something like that. There will be a movement within the group of MSc Management programs and pathways. About 10% of students will actually choose to change programs entirely. So you might intend to come to do MSc Management and Finance, but after you find out about the MFin International Finance program, you'll step across into International Finance. So there's a lot of flexibility, and the students find this incredibly rewarding to be able to get it right. What I do notice is that almost nobody gets it wrong. By the end of the foundation program, in 3 weeks afterwards, nobody's coming back and saying, oh, I'm on the wrong program, I need to move. So they get enough information to be able to make the right choice in that foundation program. There is a January and September start for each of these, for this program, as is the case for all of the master's programs, taught master's programs that we have in the School of Business. Now, what we're saying because of COVID-19 is that the uncertainty about the whole process is we're not sure, and students may not be sure about whether or not they can organise themselves completely for September. So if you want to come in September, then we suggest that that's what you should start working towards. If for some reason, any reason, you're unable to arrive in September, then just tell us and we will help you move your offer and any scholarships to the January intake for you. We have another level of flexibility, which is that if you think that you're just going to miss the start in September by a few weeks, then what we've arranged is for you to be able to matriculate, which means register for the program online, and you can start your learning straight away. And then if you arrive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks later, whatever, then you won't have missed out on any learning, and you'll be able to just slot in nicely once you've arrived. Now, this is an important flexibility based on the fact that we're going to be delivering the modules. There will be some face-to-face, if the campus is open, some face-to-face on campus, but we will also have what we call blended learning, which is not a new concept, but blended learning, where there is some information and videos put up online in a static sense and you can watch. And then there are other classes which are done live with the lecturer and tutors as you go along. So you can interact with the lecturers and tutors, but you can also interact with the other students as well as we're going along. The MSc Management program has an internship which is offered by the School of Business. So the School of Business pays for the managing of it. And it's arranged by Pagoda Projects, which are an excellent manager of our internships over a number of years. And these internships are for 8 weeks in China, Vietnam, Mexico, and in the UK, it's in Manchester. Now, we'll talk a little bit more about this when we talk about the project later on, because this is all part of the project. So here are the base program, MSc Management, and its pathways. So management and finance, international human resource management, marketing, strategy and leadership, and entrepreneurship. So these pathways are the ones which will be on your degree certificate when you graduate. So they are individual programs, degrees, but what we do is we bundle them together because they have the same core modules across all of them. And they have the same focus, which in this case is management. The first 5 of those are all much the same size. Maybe the first 4 are much the same size, they're about equal sizes. Management, strategy and leadership slightly smaller, and then management and entrepreneurship slightly smaller again. The reason why they're like this is so that you really can signal to your employer your individual interests and skills, so that you can successfully get the interview, and then you can show the interviewers and the company the skills that you've built up through the program. The module structure is all the same. You have 4 core modules, which are the same across all of these pathways, and then you will have optional modules and what we might call compulsory modules, which define the actual pathway. So if you're on the MSc Management and Finance, you will have the 4 core modules, which is the same as everybody else on the MSc Management programs. And then you will have compulsory modules, which are finance ones, which define the pathway. And then you'll have optional finance modules as well, where you get to choose 2 out of a number of modules. The structure is built as with a small focused project, and then 8 modules which are taught skills-based, understanding-based. Now, the reason why we've set it up like that is because, going back to the original, this is a conversion program. And so if you come with a background of engineering, you need to have a lot of modules which are teaching you about management or management and finance, whatever, and then you do a short focused project. Now, the short focused project is there, A, to allow more space to be able to do these modules, but B, because employers tell us that they would prefer students to be able to write a very focused business report rather than a very large discursive dissertation. So we're doing this for employability reasons. We're doing it because we're recognizing that the people who are coming onto this program are likely not to have a lot of management or finance or marketing in their background. The project module can be done in 3 ways. You can either do the internship, you can do what we call an applied consultancy project with industry, or applied consultancy project. Now, that is one where the firms around Dundee provide questions, problems which they can't solve themselves, and then groups of students with a supervisor will act as consultants to those firms. These have been very, very successful as we've gone along. Or there's just the individual project. You can just do an individual project, business project, and submit that. In the past, we've had about 50% of students will choose to do an individual project. About 25% do the applied consultancy project, and 25% will do the global internship. In all cases of the global, well, I should say about the global internship. So this year, there were about 400 students on the conversion degrees. About 100, we arranged for 100 students to go on global internships. Unfortunately, COVID stopped students from traveling. There were about 17 students who had already returned to China, so they went and did their internship face-to-face in Chengdu. But all the remainders have done them online, have done the internship remotely, and it's been a huge success as we've been going along. Right, I think that's a good place to stop. I'm very happy to answer questions if you email me, and there will be an email address along with the link to this video. And I hope you do make it to Dundee. If you do, please come and knock on my door. Always tell me about your journey to Dundee. I'll be very interested to find out about it. So look after yourself, and I hope to see you in Dundee. Righto, bye now.